in listen-only mode.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our supplier collaboration in Windchill webcast today. I am Matt Tagnarelli. I will be your moderator for our webcast this afternoon. And Ankar Yadav, our presenter, is an application engineer for Barry-Wehmiller International, and he will be presenting our webcast this afternoon. Quick agenda here. We'll begin with a brief BWI intro, who we are and how we help manufacturers with solutions across the product lifecycle. For those who are new to our webcast series, and then we'll go right into a presentation around supplier collaboration, along with a live demo, and then wrap up with a Q&A at the end. You're all currently in listen-only mode. You can write in questions throughout the webinar, and we will make sure to answer the questions for you at the end of the webinar. Barry-Wehmiller International is the global engineering and enterprising consulting division of Barry-Wehmiller, a US-based manufacturing leader with over 10,000 team members and operations worldwide, going on 130 years of business and approaching 2.5 billion in annual revenue. Our division provides total solutions across product lifecycle, helping manufacturing leaders drive more business and engineering value. Barry-Wehmiller has a rich manufacturing legacy tracing back to 1885, serving all sizes of businesses ranging from small and mid-size to Fortune 1000 manufacturers. We provide solutions for a diverse group of customers spanning the globe in Europe, Asia, and the US, from small companies to large household names and everything in between. Some of our well-known clients include PepsiCo, Polaris, Daisy, Anheuser-Busch, and many more. We have a few quick poll questions that we'll ask you, and then I will turn the presentation over to Ankur. The first question, what version of Windchill are you currently using? Alrighty. Next question. Are you currently collaborating with outside suppliers for design purposes? Alrighty. And our final poll question here. How are you currently managing supplier collaboration? All right. Thank you, everyone, for taking our polls. And I'm now going to turn it over to Ankur and let him begin his presentation for PTC Windchill supplier collaboration. Ankar, you should have the ball.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Ankur, and so Matt, can you confirm if you can see me?
Yes, I can see your screen. You're up and running.
Okay. So in this session, we'll be discussing about supplier collaboration. We'll briefly just look at a few challenges. You could have more challenges than the ones we discussed, but we just are discussing the few that we are addressing. Um, then we go over a brief intro into Windchill ProjectLink, and this has been covered in the past. So if you went to the um, archived BWI webcasts, then you can see our ProjectLink related demos that we've done in the past. So this demo or this webinar will not really go into a lot of details. We will do quick overview just to understand how ProjectLink works or what it is. We will look at some collaboration related examples. So these come from PTC, and we'll just look at some scenarios where you can use ProjectLink for your collaboration needs with suppliers or even internal collaboration. And then finally, we want to look at some enhancements that BWI has done to the ProjectLink offering from PTC. And we sincerely believe that these enhancements actually help you in realizing your needs for supplier collaboration and they streamline things a lot, especially because we felt that when you're working with suppliers, you don't really have a scope of training them much, and they just need to have everything presented in one place and easily be able to use Windchill without understanding what Windchill really is. So at least they can work on their own tasks pretty much. So the modern world is quite distributed. We all are aware of it. Your own manufacturing sites may be spread across continents, and then you're working with manufacturing partners, design partners, suppliers, and when all of this data is being changed, especially the CAD data is being interchanged across a setup like this, you would really need some robust tools to be able to manage all of it. And certainly you probably face some of these challenges yourself. You want to be able to use a distributed product development environment that effectively allows you to manage collaboration, and yet it protects your intellectual property whilst allowing you to just manage your data more effectively. And we are going to just go through some of the features that PTC's PDMLink and ProjectLink offerings come out of the box with that allow you to perform some of these activities, and then we'll look at some enhancements that we're proposing. So we'll start off with just an overview of what ProjectLink is. And so ProjectLink is really just a project information management solution that allows you to do several things. So it's a web-based project portal. It's a central repository of your project-related product data, and it can be used for collaboration internally or even externally. Just like PDMLink, it offers you a web-based portal where you can store all your CAD data, but additionally it has project plan management features and some processes that allow you to perform simple tasks like review of your design process or CAD data or approval, etc. So it's a lot of things come out of the box. It can be used cross-enterprise, and therefore you can access it from anywhere because it's browser-based. It connects to various CAD systems. It's interoperable with Microsoft Project. And so this is what it kind of looks like. If you have seen PDMLink already, or if you've used ProjectLink, then you are aware of this. There really isn't much to ProjectLink in this screen, but there's things behind the scene that it does that make it different. Now, visualization is embedded within ProjectLink, just like PDMLink. But what ProjectLink has in addition is routing and workflows. So workflows are part of Windchill in general, but routing workflows are special. They are generally smaller in scope, but they're really easy to initiate. So you could actually initiate a workflow by right-clicking on an object. And you can send that single object through a promotion kind of process, or just a simple review process or a notification process. And what's also special about the routing option within ProjectLink is as the object moves through this routing workflow process, its state keeps on changing automatically. So if someone approves the state, if you have a state with the name approved, then the object would pick up the state approved. Other than that, ProjectLink offers discussion forums. You can subscribe and get notifications, and it integrates with data authoring apps, Creo, SolidWorks, etc. Additionally, it has project planning, and that's the single biggest distinguishing factor. So you can create a project plan within ProjectLink and then give detailed project definitions. So you can create your project plan can be made up of activities, milestones. They can have durations, date, constraints, deadlines. Then you can associate your activities with milestones or with deliverables, and it offers you project planning execution options, project plan execution options like manual or automatic, where in manual mode you would manually move from one task to next, but automatic execution works automatically when a task gets completed. Based on time and etc., it will kick off the next one. And then project tracking, there are several solutions. You can customize your views that are showing you your plans, or it even offers an applet for showing you Gantt charts, finding critical paths, or just for the project plan table itself is fairly customizable. If you have Cognos, it can print some nice graphics for you for your reports, but in general it comes pre-built with a few reports that are helpful in tracking your KPI. Another important feature is if you use Microsoft Project, your plan can be synced with Microsoft Project. So you can export it out into Microsoft Project and make changes within it and then import it back into ProjectLink. Within ProjectLink itself, you can view or edit your plan. And it's fairly closely set up to work like Microsoft Project. So it follows a lot of its nomenclature. Now, you can use Creo Elements Pro or other third-party CAD applications along with ProjectLink, just like PDMLink. But one feature that ProjectLink really lacks is that ProjectLink does not allow you to create new revisions. So you can check out and check in your objects, but you can only get new iterations. You're never getting new revisions, because PDMLink is primarily supposed to be your place or location where you're doing most of your designing. So your design stays within PDMLink, but ProjectLink can occasionally be used for sharing data out and using and as an ad hoc collaboration space outside of your PDMLink setup. So the PDMLink, ProjectLink, they kind of sit side by side. Once you have them installed, you can easily send data from PDMLink to ProjectLink. On this slide, basically, the icon on the left-hand side is the PDMLink icon, and then on the right you have ProjectLink. So just installing ProjectLink over PDMLink would just give you an additional tab. Now, for performing collaboration between PDMLink and ProjectLink, what PTC gives you are some options where you can share your data, which can be shared from PDMLink into ProjectLink, and that gives you read access to this object. Or you could perform a PDM checkout. And what PDM checkout does is it gives you modify access to the object. So your PDMLink data can either be sent out for read-only or modification, and then further, if you wanted to share for read-only, you could still create annotations, but if you allowed PDM checkout, you're going to make actual modifications to the CAD data. Once you've done this, you can send the data back into PDM and incorporate your data into your existing design. Since Windchill 10, you're able to have problem reports in projects. It doesn't still have full-fledged change management, but this problem report is part of ProjectLink. So we're just looking at a few examples on how you would use ProjectLink as a collaboration environment. So suppose marketing has a new idea for your excavators. What you can do is within ProjectLink, you can quickly start adding your CAD data by using the send, by copying from PDMLink and pasting it into ProjectLink. And then you can include other groups, other offices, or even your customers. And the way we've set this up in the past, if you're allowing customers to access your project data, then you would need, of course, some additional licenses. And we'll set up normally a reverse proxy that allows people from outside your VPN to be able to access your data. Otherwise, VPN might be an option for some people. But the way ProjectLink is set up, it has a concept of ad hoc permissions. So normally, with PDMLink, your permissions are defined at the org level or defined for that specific product or library, and they are normally set that way. You do not have easy options of granting permissions to other people. ProjectLink's ideology has slightly different. Out of the box, you would be able to grant permissions on an ad hoc basis. Therefore, you could take an existing pod and then right-click on it, and using the Manage Security window, you can grant different kinds of permissions that would allow people to modify or set state or etc. right there from the UI. And that's another key difference between how Windchill's PDMLink and ProjectLink offerings are set up. So ad hoc permissions for your customers can be set up fairly easily, and then you could even, of course, still use your policy permissions, which are more hardcode. I mean, they're not easily then modifiable. So you can even use a mix of both, some basic permissions that you think your customers would always need or users would always need. You could grant them through policy, but then individual permissions can be granted ad hoc. And this is another collaboration example. And this involves basically having two suppliers in two different locations. And the idea with this approach is that you create, instead of a single, but you create two collaboration spaces, or maybe more. So you can create multiple projects, and once you've done that, you can have individual teams that are quite different for both of these projects. And then you can work with your suppliers, giving them access to both of these projects, and they can then check in their CAD data, and then looking at whatever you prefer, you could pick that specific CAD data, and then you can incorporate it back into your original design. And that's kind of the idea with integration of PDMLink and ProjectLink. Now, you may be wondering, couldn't this be done within the context of PDMLink itself? Why would we do this through ProjectLink? And this kind of ties into the fact that for most organizations, your PDMLink, you would have your data well sorted out, well planned out, and it offers you revision control. But if you are working with your suppliers, you may not want to be able to expose all of the data to them, and just having a different location within your PDMLink installation, in your Windchill installation, would kind of keep you it'll keep you free from having to decide what's shared, what's not. You won't really have to worry a lot. So your suppliers would then have the specific space, and you understand that it's safe for them to make modifications in. Furthermore, we want to discuss some enhancements that we've done over this, things that we've added. So this slide basically, it just shows you a process that we've implemented for some of our customers. It involves starting off outside of Windchill, where basically anyone can request PDM checkout for some data. And the data that is where you perform PDM checkout outside of Windchill, you basically just you just send an email to your project manager, and you tell them that you want them to create a new project because you want to quickly set up a team and work with your suppliers, for example. So the project manager in step 2 would then go in and create the project and set up all the team, give them all the right kind of permissions. And then we would use a special role, the collaboration manager, which could actually even be the project manager. But there's two roles here, the collaboration manager in PDMLink and the collaboration manager in ProjectLink. And the way this slide is set up, just give me a second. Matt, can you see the screen?
I can't see the screen.
Okay, so just a second. So the way we set up this example, there's Acme, Organic Equipment Manufacturer, and Ajax, their vendor, so two organizations. The three columns and three swim lanes in the middle, they basically represent tasks that are with the Acme organization, whereas Ajax, the vendor, has a single task. So this is a design modification process. And the four swim lanes on the right, they're basically everything is going on within Windchill. So the creation of project happens within Windchill, and each swim lane corresponds to a specific role. So the collaboration manager in PDMLink is essentially just tasked with picking all of the data that needs to be exposed to vendors and then sharing it into ProjectLink, and they would have to perform the PDM checkout operation, because that would automatically give people in ProjectLink permission to make copies and make modifications. Now there's also the collaboration manager in ProjectLink, and normally we would recommend that they both be the same person just to keep things simple. The collaboration manager in ProjectLink then creates a package wherein they pick all of the CAD data and create a collection out of it. So that's what the package would be. And what's unique about this approach that we're suggesting of creating a package is the routing option that is part of ProjectLink allows you to only route a specific object. So only a single object would go through the route. But with the package option, you're able to collect everything and collectively send all of it through our routing. Once a route is created, it automatically kicks off at that point the workflow process behind the scene. Automatically generates a task. The task goes to the vendor. They get a notification, and the specific customization that we've done for some of our customers in this area is we understand that your vendors may not actually have the same level of understanding of Windchill that you possess. You have control of training when it comes to your internal staff, and therefore you can tell them how Windchill works in great detail, and over time they'll get used to it. But you cannot expect your vendors to have the same level of understanding of Windchill. And therefore you would probably still need to do some training, but we've minimized the use of this training. And the way we've achieved this is when the vendor get their modification related task, everything they would need to do is present on that task. So we have a customized task where you don't really need to figure out where the objects are, which folder they are in, or which project they are part of. None of that is actually required. You have an email that gives you a task that tells you to do modification. When you, as a collaboration manager, when you're creating the package and routing it, you get the opportunity to enter extra comments as part of the creation of the route, where you can give specific instructions to your vendors. Furthermore, all the contents of the package are accessible from the single page where you get your task. So you could pick a specific object from there and open it up in Creo, make modifications, and check it back in. Now, of course, checking it back in would need some training. So working with Creo would need some training, but you would essentially be just learning how to use workspaces within Creo. And you still don't really need to learn much about how Windchill works, what are folders, what are locations. So you're working on your package itself. Finally, when your package is complete, when the vendor makes modifications to the package, they send it over to the collaboration manager. All they have to actually just do is they have to click a button that says they've completed the task. The workflow moves automatically to the next page where there's a review task for the collaboration manager in ProjectLink. At which point they can make a choice. Either they can send the data back for rework after reviewing everything, or they can send it back to PDM. And again, there's a few things they can, there's a few customizations that help them out in this case. One is the same customization that allows you to see everything in your task. You don't really worry where the actual object is stored. You can see every object that has gone through modification in the same place. We've added some modification that allows you to automatically refresh the contents of the package so that it basically picks the latest of everything, instead of you having to figure out if the latest content, if the package of the content is latest, it just is done automatically by Windchill. The package refresh is automatic. Furthermore, when you are making the decision to send your data into PDM because you feel that your vendor has made all the design changes that you're looking for. At that point, you get to make another decision, and this decision basically allows you to make a choice that your objects, before they are sent to PDM, are these objects released or not. So normally when you're sending something to your vendor for modification, you would of course have to perform a PDM checkout, but you'd also send in-work data, because normally your permissions would only allow people to work with in-work data. But when your data is complete, when the modifications are complete and you want to send back to PDM, at that point, data needs to be sometimes sent back in either the in-work state, or it needs to be sent back in the released state. And we've done customization around this feature where the collaboration manager can review the modified data and then can make decision as to the future state of this data within ProjectLink. And I would like to switch over into a small demo just to show you how we've set up these things. Just give me a minute while I set this up. Okay. So I switched from the presentation onto my browser. So just Matt, can you confirm if you can see the browser window?
Yeah, I can see the browser window.
Just wanted to make sure, because the last time I was doing this, when I switched from the slides to the browser, it just didn't work out properly. So what I have here is a project, and when data is PDM checked out, at that point you would normally see this icon that says that the data has been checked out from PDM, and this would allow someone to actually make modifications. This is all in-work data. What you can then do is Windchill would actually allow you to just right-click on something and perform a send to PDM to send the data back, or once you're even before you want to send back, of course, you would maybe sometimes want to route. And while routing, we have a customized workflow that does some of the things behind the scene for you. So there's actually a bunch of workflows. There's release routing workflow and then approval routing, and they all have different things they can perform. So you can pick individual files for routing and then send them through to specific people. You can pick if someone would approve or someone would just observe or review, and then you can give very specific instructions for the approval that are specific to the data. You can specify due dates and all. But again, like I mentioned, route would only take a single object through the routing process. What we recommend in this scenario is creating a package. And the package actually then has, in its contents, it has everything that's supposed to go through. Now, with the package, you still have the option to route it. And once you route it, tasks are sent out to people. So one customization we have here, of course, you can always have instructions that give details, but our customization actually shows all the contents of the package in one place. We also have an extra column that tells you if this is the latest iteration. So as someone who's just going to make modifications, well, this is just view or add on annotations, this may not be really important information for you, but once you've completed your task and your task goes back to Collaboration Manager and they have to send the data back into PDMLink, at that point they of course want to know if they have everything that's latest or not. So that's one customization we have here, is displaying information in one place, see in the package. And the other customization we have is to send back to PDM. So out of the box, you can send information back into PDMLink, but when you're performing the send to PDM action, at that point, you cannot really make a decision as to the final state of this, the CAD data. And this example has only 2 CAD files, so it's not really a good example, but suppose you have thousands of files here, and some of them were stored in a specific PDMLink context, and another set was in another PDM context. Once you've sent everything back into PDMLink, it would be a nightmare just trying to figure out where everything went and what was its state and what you want to set it to. So what we allow you to do in this case is we allow you to actually set the state. So we've added an extra column, we've added some extra actions. So this says that as of now you haven't really specified anything. If you try to click finish, it'll not let you do that. It'll ask you to pick an action. So you could pick something and you could say that yes, this is released, and that changed the status to released. Or what you can do is you could say no, and that would set the status to no. And once these files went back into the PDM location where you're trying to send them, they would automatically pick the target state that you wanted. So they'll either pick released or they will stay at in work depending upon what you wanted to achieve. Once you did that, the object's current status, which shows them as PDM checked out, will switch back to not being actually, it'll switch back to shared, and then you can actually delete the files from ProjectLink because as Collaboration Manager or Project Manager, maybe you didn't want your vendors to always have access to this data, but it still stays there till you remove it from this place. So this is an example of how we've enhanced PTC's recommended idea of using ProjectLink for your collaboration needs by adding some extra functionalities. I hope you liked our demo today, and well, yeah, thanks from my part on attending and going through this.
All right. So, Encore, I will I'll take back the presentation for you. Alrighty. All right. So right now we'll ask for any questions that anyone may have for us right now. If you want to submit those questions, please do so, and we'll get to them here in a little bit. I'm going to do a little house cleaning business here while we wait for those questions. If you're interested in kind of polishing up any of your PTC skills to the next level, we provide PTC certified training in 8 different training facilities. We also do classes virtually, and we can do classes on site at your site as well. So feel free to browse our training schedule and join us for any of our upcoming training classes that we have. If you have any questions, you can also contact our National Training Manager, Joe Farhat, directly, and he can help you out as well. Another thing, we got LiveWorks is coming up here in June 6th through the 9th. If you use promo code BWIC 2016, you'll receive a discount on your LiveWorks pass. And while you're at LiveWorks, please come by and visit with us. Also, there is a 35% saving on PTC Creo simulation through June 24th if you're interested in that as well. And also, all of our webcasts are archived at www.b-wi.com/webcast so you can view them at your own pace. So within supplier collaboration, what would you say, Encore, is the most secure way to do it? Is it more of just using ProjectLink, or is it something that is password protected?
So actually, PTC does offer a lot of functionality around this that does not need any customization or even involvement of just vendors in Windchill. So the concept with creating a package, it actually involves creating a bundle of files that you're able to burn into a CD and ship, or create a zip file and send it over to your vendors. So if you just wanted to send a specific set of information, you can actually create a zip file and send it via email if it worked for you. What that lacks, though, is they get that information, and when they want to make modifications, those modifications cannot easily be incorporated back in. So it's a one-way. It's a one-way street. You can send information to your vendors very easily, but if they have to send it back, then they have to create their own zip files, and they cannot use the package very well. Now, PTC is in fact working on this, and soon you might actually be able to import content seamlessly back from packages. But still, what we are suggesting using ProjectLink, there's a few advantages. One of them is that everything is part of a workflow, and therefore it's easily traceable. You can see where something is at, what's checked out, and then you can use some offerings within ProjectLink, like notifications, subscriptions, or you can use the discussion forum to discuss specific design ideas even further. So it's a dynamic workplace. It offers a lot that being able to send emails would not allow you to do.
Okay.
Traceability is biggest, I guess. So yeah.
Okay. Now, one other question it came in. I'm not sure. What is Windchill Essentials?
Windchill PDM Essentials is actually marketed for customers who have a smaller design team, and therefore would need a limited set of features that PTC full scale kind of lacks. So it's meant for smaller organizations and has some reduced functionality. So it does not have, I guess, it doesn't probably have WT paths, and therefore ERP connection is out of options. And then it has some other shortcomings related to certain other areas in functionality. It's a smaller set of functionalities that are offered at a discount, kind of. That's what it is.
Okay.
But it will still give you an essential package of your design needs, etc.
Okay. One more question. When you show markup in Creo Viewer, what is the difference between Creo View Lite and Creo View?
Okay. So for most needs, they're probably interchangeably usable. The Creo View Lite, I believe the annotations created in it are not. You cannot really save your markup, whereas with Creo View, it's you have that additional functionality of saving your markup.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, with that, that's all the questions that we have. Again, if you guys do want to speak with an expert about any of your engineering issues or questions that you have about the webcast, please reach out to myself at matt.tognerelli@b-wi.com. My information is listed here, and if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me, and we'll be more than happy to help you out as quickly as possible. Actually, it looks like we just had one more question come in here. Sorry there. It says, can you view mass prop? I'm not sure what he means by prop there. Encore? Did I lose you?
What was that again?
Yeah, can you use mass properties?
Mass properties?
Yes.
In
Creo View Lite.
No, you cannot.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Again, we'll be having another webcast next month. Our next webcast is actually a Creo webcast coming up on May 26th, talking about the conversion from Creo 2.0 to 3.0. So please join us for that one. And then our next PLM webcast will be in the second week of June. So we will be sending you all an email out invitation to that one. But thank you all for attending, and we look forward to speaking with you at the next webcast. Have a good day. Thank you.